Okay, I'm here with Joe Nuñez, Director of Bands at Tomball High School, and you're going to tell me a little bit about your passion for needing a mentor.
Yeah, I think it's important for everybody to have a good mentor, especially a young teacher starting out, or if maybe you're new to the state or new to a school, that you go in as an assistant with somebody who's going to teach you and help bring you along. I was very fortunate enough in my career. I started out as an assistant to Gloria Ramirez at Wells Middle School in Spring. And then I became a high school assistant. I was an assistant to Scott McAdoo at Langham Creek. And then I moved up to the Dallas area and learned how to start a brand new program as an assistant to Brian Gibbs at Birdville High School. So I don't think it can get any better than that to have had those three mentors. Had Richard Crane as a director of fine arts. I had Henry Schraub as a director of fine arts before eventually becoming a head director myself. And having had those great mentors in my career really shaped who I was, and I was able to pick and choose and take the things that I liked most, or the strengths of each of those mentors, to decide who I was going to be and how I was going to do things. So as a head director, it's been real important to me to try to impart those things on the assistants that I've had, because it's my goal to have an assistant who aspires to be a head band director. And my goal is for the assistant, obviously, to be with me as long as possible, but as short as possible as well. I want to make sure I've given them the tools so that they in turn can go off and be a head director and build their own program, and hopefully they'll want to keep some of the things that were important to me, but at the same time, it's important that they be themselves. And so giving your assistants opportunities to kind of do their own thing and be who they're going to be. They don't need to be a mirror image of you.
Right. Yeah, that's the biggest thing that my first assistant told me is, don't try to exact copy somebody else, because you can't.
Right.
And that's so hard for somebody that's a beginning teacher. They want to exactly be this person.
Right.
But it's not. So you have to find your own style.
Right.
And it's something that I've learned from getting to speak to so many people on this program. I would say over half have mentioned mentorship. Mm-hmm. But I think one of the coolest things is you don't have to have that one mentor. Right. I also think you should have multiple and kind of switch it around. You know what I mean? Not
absolutely.
that this person is bad, but, kind of start to go to this person for a little bit to see their perspective and harbor multiple perspectives at the same time. And then you start to mold it into your own.
Right. And I went to a clinic when I was a young assistant director just starting out. Greg Dick did a clinic about how to be a good assistant. And so I made sure I went to that clinic because I wanted to be a good assistant. And he talked about, your number one job as an assistant is to make the head band director look good. So to kind of think about what's going to be coming next, what's the head director going to need next, and kind of maybe get that ball started. So I tried to do that as an assistant, being there before the head director got there, making sure his setup was ready to go, making sure his music was ready to go, whatever, and try to take things off of the head director's plate as much as was possible. And so I think that allowed me to kind of flourish in certain roles and assume some responsibilities that I, in turn, as a head director, kind of see what are the strengths of my staff and see what roles they want to assume and what things do they want on their plate, what do they want to learn more about.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. One thing I say with my assistant all the time is the more you can take away from what I'm doing, then the more time I have to make us better. Because I feel like any of my free time segments all get spent on big picture, this new idea, let's try this, let's implement this new way. But the more of the logistical things that I have to do, I don't have time for that. Because I also, want to go home with my wife and have a life too,
Sure.
So you can't add any more extra time to that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the program.
My
We
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you.